So this is my 2-week update. It's a little over 2 weeks. It's Monday and Friday was my 2 week date of having the PRK surgery. So I thought I'd give you an update. I was going to give an update on Friday, but this weekend was just busy. I'm doing really good. I can see it gets a little better every day. Some days it goes backwards, but generally it gets better. My left eye is not as good as my right eye. I can tell it seems like an astigmatism to me. It's up close and far away. It's a little blurry. It's almost like when you have a camera and you're a little bit out of focus. I can usually make stuff out, but it's out of focus. So PRK, apparently it takes up to a couple months to 6 months for it to fully heal and to have the perfect vision. So it gets a little better, a little bit at a time. So I'm good. I'm good with where I am. I can drive. I can see just fine. I can work all day. I still have the font on my monitor at work turned up pretty high. I don't do a whole lot of work on the computer at home. I like to, but my eyes are usually pretty tired by the time I work, 8 hours on the computer all day. So I usually come home and TV doesn't bother me as much, but it's a lot further away. My eyes do get dry sometimes. They're usually dry in the mornings when I wake up. I put in eye drops every couple hours, as I'm instructed to, and I think to do that for a month, and then it goes like every 4 hours or something like that. It gets less, and then I put in the wetting eye drops up to 4 months. I'm still putting in the steroid drops, and the doctor gave me the stuff for pressure or something, so I'm still doing those. Those are twice a day. Steroid drops are 4 times a day, and they're really nasty. They're milky. They gunk up your eyes, but I guess it's better than not having those. I don't really have any pain. I wear my sunglasses outside like I'm supposed to. I actually drove at night for the first time. I don't generally drive at night very much anyway, but I drove at night on Saturday night for the first time. It's about the same as it was before the surgery. I have pretty good night vision. I'm in the dark, so I don't have that problem. They told me I have really large pupils, which I guess would explain why I can actually see in the dark. A lot of people complain about starburst, halos, that kind of stuff with PRK. I do not have any halos. I do have starburst, but I had them before, so I don't really feel like anything has changed on that end. Whenever I look at a light in the dark, I can see it usually goes off in at least 4 directions. It's not, I don't know, I've always had it as long as I can remember, so it's not a big deal to me. I could see how it would be a big deal before you didn't have it, but for me, I've always had it, and it's there, and you just live with it. So maybe they'll go away, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm not really too concerned. I don't drive at night very much. I don't drive much in general. So that's pretty good. My daytime driving is fine. I'm afraid to really drive too far. I haven't driven out of town since. I'm afraid my eyes would get really dry. And then you put in the wetting eye drops, which feel really good, but you're blurry for a few minutes. So, if I drove a long distance, I'd probably have to pull over at the rest stops, squirt in some eye drops, and hang out for 5 minutes until I can really see again. So, I just had my wife drive and solve that problem. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy. I go back in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. We'll call it 2.5 weeks for my next follow-up visit. Maybe they'll take me off the steroid drops. Those things are very expensive, so I'll be glad to get off of those. Generally, happy. The drug cost is a lot of things that you don't always know about when you go into this, so I'll tell you a little bit. I started off with a $125 prescription bill that was for the antibiotic drops and the first dose of steroid drops. I didn't even use the whole bottle of the antibiotic drops. I started them the day before surgery, used them the day of surgery, used them every hour after surgery, and then used it for a week. That bottle feels pretty empty, but I don't know how much longer I would have lasted on that. Steroid drops, that was, so the antibacterial drop was $80. It was $40 for the steroid drops. I started using that the day of surgery, and then I've used it since then. I'm just now about done with my first bottle. I went ahead and got a refill because it feels like it's really, really empty. But I'm going to keep on dropping as long as drops keep on falling out. So we'll say that will last a little over 2 weeks. And then I'm probably I'll at least stay on it until I go back to the doctor, and then I'll maybe stay on it past that even. So, probably going to have $80, maybe $120 in that, in that drug. And then I had painkillers, which that was only like $20. It was pretty cheap. The pressure drops, whatever they're called, that one was really cheap. It's a $4 generic at Walmart. So I've used that, and I still got plenty of that bottle left, and hopefully that'll last me until I go back to the doctor. And then, of course, the wetting eye drops get expensive. I will say there's these new ones out. It's made by Retain. It's what they actually gave me at the eye doctor when I had the surgery. It's in a pump, and so they're preservative-free, because you're supposed to use preservative-free after you have the surgery. So the way they used to do it, and you see a lot of videos, is they have these little containers. I actually have some, but you open them up, squirt in your eye, and you're supposed to trash it. Those are about $15 for 24 of the little packets, and so it's supposed to be 24 doses, which is really, really expensive. So if you're, when you start off, you're supposed to be doing this every hour, so that would last you 2 days, and that's $15 for 2 days is really expensive. The Retain that I have, you can get it for about $15, but it lasted me a whole week after the surgery. I finally ran out the Friday after surgery, so it was literally a full week. And then I had to buy some more, and that was, I bought 2 of them for like $25, so that was a pretty good deal. You can find them on Amazon and eBay. You can't buy them in the stores, so I don't think pharmacy sells them. But that's a much better deal. So overall, 120, 40, 20. Probably getting close to, by the end of this, probably $200 in prescriptions. Now, if you have a prescription plan on your health insurance, that will help you pay for that, which would be wonderful. My health insurance has got an unbelievably high deductible, so I haven't had any other medical issues, so the insurance didn't pay for a dime of my prescriptions. So just consider that whenever you go into the surgery, that you're probably going to spend a couple $100 in prescriptions. And even if you do have health insurance to pay for it, you'll probably just have to spend at least $100. Because, if nothing else, the eye drops, the wetting eye drops are really expensive. So overall, good. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'll help you out. And it's a lot easier than what I thought it would be. And I can go all day. I'm happy. It's really weird to wake up in the morning sometimes and reach for my glasses, and they're not there because I don't need them anymore. So I'm happy about that. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.